I got my Xbox Green Seaweed here. In this video, we're going to explore the Xbox Series X pricing, the Series S pricing, and let's see if we can actually build a PC that is somewhat close to the price that Microsoft have managed to put on their console. It's really quite insane how they managed to get the pricing so low. Let's dive right in. If you want to catch up on all the latest tech news, you should consider subscribing. I'll be trying to post these as often as I can. Alright, the Xbox Series X prices and Xbox Series S prices are finally in. Currently, it looks like their cheaper version is going to be $300, and it's purported that the Series X is going to be $500, and it's going to launch on November 10th. This is really awesome because it looks like you can also get financing with the Xbox Series X and the Series S, which I don't think they really did push too hard before. So that means right out the gate you can get a really cheap console, and you only have to pay about $25 for the Series S or the $35 per month with the Series X. The Xbox All Access thing is their new subscription service, which includes their Xbox Live, which is normally about $50, I believe, per year. It also comes with Game Pass. Game Pass is usually, the ultimate version is $15 a month, and you get the console. So essentially, you are getting a console with financing for $10 a month with financing, or $20 if you get the more expensive console. It has a really low barrier to entry, so I guess a lot of people would be very happy with this financing option. I don't know if they charge extra like interest on the financing, but if they don't, that is a really good deal. Apparently 12 teraflops of power, which doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things, and it boasts 4K 60 FPS for most games, and up to 120 if you're playing a first-person shooter or some other high-performance game. That is a very powerful GPU, I can tell you that. When we build out this PC, this is going to be very interesting. The Xbox Game Pass is Microsoft's way to give you a whole bunch of games in one neat package. So if you get the ultimate version, which is $15 a month, you get 385 games. Currently, there could be even more in the future. Just in console games, it's 246, and you get 207 PC games. And some of these are actually really good games. We got that's a AAA game. I think a lot of these on this front page are AAA games. Some small ones too. Oh, Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's $60 already. You get all the Microsoft games right off the bat when you get Game Pass. So, Flight Simulator, Ark Survival, wow. Astroneer, Fallout 76. Oh. You get, there's so many games. You can get Minecraft. Oh, you can actually get Minecraft. Wow. I didn't know that. That's really cool. We can see that the ultimate plan, which is what you get when you are doing financing, is you get access to over 100 games for console, PC, and Android, apparently. We didn't see Android on this page, but I guess they also have Android games. They have new games added all the time, and they also have Xbox Game Studios games that release same day. It also includes member discounts and deals, and I'm guessing exclusive free perks is DLC. And soon it'll even come with xCloud, which is their mobile streaming platform for games on the go. It's really crazy that they even included Xbox the Live Gold, which is the thing that lets you play multiplayer games, which most people are probably going to pick up normally. So you're getting that, plus you're getting all these extra games. And it's just a really good deal. The console version, you don't get Live Gold if you were just to pick it up by itself. So this is a really good deal right now. You don't have to be a rich guy to get a rich guy's console. Okay, it's time to build out that Xbox Series X PC. We're aiming for $500. I don't think we're going to make it to $500. I think it's going to cost a lot more. It looks like it uses a custom built Ryzen Zen 2 architecture at 3.7 to 3.8 gigahertz. And what I have here is the Ryzen 7 and the Ryzen 3800X, 3700X and 3800X. The 3700X is at 3.6 gigahertz and the 3.9 at the 3800X. So it's somewhere priced in between these two. I'm going to use the 3700X just because we don't need to bump up the prices that much. For graphics, we're going to go with the 2080 because it looks like that's what they're putting into this thing. Well, some equivalent of that. And the closest I can get to that is the 2070 Super. That's the cheaper version. And the 2070 Super costs around $500. The 3070 though, the next generation that's going to come out in a few months, it's going to cost about $500 as well, but it's quite a bit more powerful. You can see it's at least 1 times more powerful compared to a 980. So I'm guessing that when the 3060 comes out, it's probably going to be around the $300 to $400 range. But we can't actually build the computer with that yet. So this computer is going to be a little bit more expensive than what I'm expecting in like a month or two. This was released a couple days ago by Nvidia, and it basically destroyed the 2080 Ti and turned the 3070 into the new 2080 Ti. You can see $1,200 it used to cost. Now it's like $500. They completely destroyed this thing, and everyone's kind of mad about it. For the NVMe SSD, we're going to just use the cheapest NVMe SSD we can find. It's proprietary, but I don't think it's that proprietary. They probably use custom firmware, but it'll probably be somewhat similar to a normal one. I don't think we're going to add the Blu-ray. It's going to the 4K Blu-ray is going to add quite a bit of cost, so I think we're going to cheap out and not put that in. And unknown VR support. Well, our PC will have VR support. And our PC won't come with Game Pass. So that's going to be... This is not looking good for our PC. Alright, CPU is our 3700X. At that. CPU cooler, we'll probably use the Hyper 12 Evo. That's a solid cooler, solid cheap cooler. Motherboard will be... How cheap can we get? I'm familiar with MSI, but maybe we can get this Gigabyte one. It's pretty cheap. Micro ATX. So the new Xbox is pretty small. So let's see. That comes with 2 slots. That is good enough, and it should fit with our PC. So $75. It only has 1 system fan header. That is actually really bad. That is probably going to be really bad. So I'm not going to pick that anymore. $110. We can get this one. Ooh, this one looks okay. $110. Let's look at the... Okay, we can see it has 4 DIMM slots. It has 2 slots for game cards or whatever. And it has the NVMe slot right here, which is what we need for our SSDs. M.2 slots. We're going to need 2 because the Xbox Series X has an expansion slot for 1 more. Let's look at the tech specs page for this. It comes with slots. No, wrong slots. Storage. 2 SATA gigabyte ports. 1 M.2 slot. Oh. Oh dear. We are not sticking 2 super SSDs into this thing. That is unfortunate. This is not an Xbox Series X without 2 potential storage slots. Because we need 1 terabyte proprietary for the initial one, and the extra one as an add-on. So we need to find that, or we use a 2 terabyte SSD. Maybe we should just use a 2 terabyte SSD. That'll make things cheaper. Yeah, let's go with that. Where's that $75 board? Let's check this one more time. It's got our GPU slot right here, and SATA connectors for extra storage if you cared, and the M.2 slots right here. So we'll just stick a 2 terabyte one in instead. Okay, we have added that in. Memory will be whatever cheap memory we can find. It probably won't matter too much. It's going to be 6 gigabytes of memory, 16 gigabytes of memory. Oh, that's interesting. The video card comes with memory, but it's integrated with the GPU. Except, I don't think a Windows computer is going to be very happy if you only give it 6 gigabytes for the rest of the system. So I think we're going to do the normal one where people usually put 16 gigabytes for this kind of card. We're actually spending a lot more on system memory that we would if we were building the Xbox Series X by itself. 8 gigabytes is already not good for a desktop. Oh, 16 gigabytes right here. 3200 DDR, that's pretty good already. These are like my favorite DIMMs, but looks like these are almost the cheapest right now. 3200. Oh, this one's 3600. It's $2 more. Let's get that one. Speed might factor in to our thing. I'm going to use the Seagate one because apparently that's what they're using in their modules. The Xbox Series X is apparently using some kind of Seagate. Okay, I've changed my mind on using only Seagate because they don't give you a lot of options, and we want 2 terabytes. So we'll just do that, and Evo Plus is too fast for what we need. We just need the cheapest one we can get. Let's go for price. Which one's the cheapest one that I can trust? Sabrent. Sabrent maybe. Sabrent Rocket's pretty solid, so $280 versus $250. Okay, I'll just go for it. 2 terabytes. Video card now is gonna be a 2070 Super. Let's just let's get the cheapest one. Zotac twin fan, maybe. We will go with the Zotac twin fan. Actually, no, we'll go with the EVGA. I can trust EVGA. I don't know if I want to use the NVIDIA stock cooler. That was the first option. So let's just use EVGA. Why not? Compatibility. Oh, we need the power supply still. Cheap case. Our case needs to be black, so let's get that one. Why not? And it's mid tower. This is a micro ATX bar. It's going to be a bit big for that. Maybe we can get a cheaper case. It'd be like $20 cheaper, so not that much better. Okay, we're going to pick this cheapo one, $50. It's got some ratings. It'll probably fit. Mid tower is big enough. that. Power supply is, what is this? Power supply. Let's go with something that won't blow up. We need, apparently we're at 400 watts. So let's get something like 450 or 500. Because you never want to underdo it. Unless you want your thing to blow up. Okay, here we're gonna go for 500 to 600. Okay, let's pick this one maybe. This power supply is really cheap. It doesn't have semi-modular power, so it's probably as cheaper you're gonna get. If you wanted to make this PC, you'd probably want it to be semi-modular, so this one wouldn't be a great option. So, but if you're trying to get as cheap as you can, this will probably work. Let's try searching for semi and full. For $10 more, you get semi-modular. That would save a ton of space in your case and be a lot less hassle. So I think we'll actually upgrade to this one here. Bronze power though, okay. I'm sure if you actually go on Amazon, you could probably get it a bit cheaper. For instance, oh, I remember EVGA golds being really cheap on Amazon, but I can't have EVGA, but it doesn't look like they're that cheap right now. So I guess we will just go with what we have currently. Alright, optical drive, Blu-ray, and just interested in how much they would cost. $50 for a Blu-ray drive. Well, I don't think our case even has a hole for a Blu-ray drive, so that's out of the question. You might be able to get an external one. Oh, our case does have a hole for a Blu-ray drive if you wanted to get one. It's an extra $50 that we don't have the luxury for, but you could do that. Consoles don't come with a monitor, so we don't need a monitor. External storage, we don't need that. We already got our extra 2 terabytes. Oh, we can actually, if you didn't buy this, it'd be 1 terabyte, and then you would add in, you wouldn't be able to add on per se because it's already 2 terabytes, but we can have the cost, I think. Okay, for now I'm going to actually chop this in half. We're just gonna stick 1 terabyte in, but if you wanted to upgrade it, you should probably use 2 terabytes from the get-go, because we only have 1 slot for it. Right, for $150 instead of $280. Oops, no, come back. Almost deleted my build. This is not cheap looking at all. Look at that. 1,300, at least $1,300 to just build the PC just from parts. Of course, when the 3060 comes out, that'll probably be in the range of $300, so you might shave $200 off of that if you wait a few months. If you don't factor in Windows and you run it unlicensed, you can save an extra $100. So minus $200 on this is about $1,000. And what else can we chop off? We're running out of things to chop off. So you're probably looking around about $1,000. This does not include taxes. If we include taxes, it's going to be even more. But $500 base for console is really good. $1,000 for a console. I forgot to include the keyboard. The console this motherboard might also not. Oh, this one, does this come with Wi-Fi? It does not come with Wi-Fi, so that's what happens when you buy cheap boards. So we're not gonna have Wi-Fi on our thing, unless you buy a more expensive motherboard. We're not gonna have a keyboard or a mouse, and we're not gonna come with the controller, which is usually 50 to 70 bucks. I don't know. I just realized that we actually have incompatibilities on this board. We've got the annoying B450 chipset BIOS update thing, so if you didn't want to deal with that, you probably need a different motherboard, and it's really annoying to actually deal with that. So we are going to upgrade our board to a different one. If we upgrade our board, we'll probably use a 570 chipset. X570. And oh, these are not cheap at all. If you didn't want to deal with that, you're probably going to end up getting one of these boards. And the cheapest we're going to get is ASRock, apparently. These don't have a lot of reviews though. It's a basic board, MSI. It's not even a gaming board, but it does do the job. That is one of the cheaper boards you can get. 160 bucks is not that cheap. I think when I got my board it was like 100 something, and it came with a mouse. Well, actually, okay, there's another note here. It looks like it might not have an extra 4-pin connector, but that is only used when you are overclocking your board. If you don't overclock your board, you are probably fine. Yeah, they say extreme overclocking, so you probably don't need that. It's a really good time to buy a console if you just want to play games and you don't need a PC. Of course, you're only getting a console. You're not getting Windows with the console. If you got Windows with the console, I don't think we would ever buy Windows again when you could just buy a Xbox, or if PlayStation came out with their own OS that you could actually use it for doing work. Well, if you wanted, you could buy an Xbox Series X, and then you would buy a computer, like a $500 laptop, and you could probably stream on your laptop. Of course, you probably wouldn't be able to get the 4K 60 experience on your laptop, but other than that, that is an option. $500 laptops are getting pretty good these days. If you guys got this far, you probably liked the video, so if you liked the video, like the video. Anyways, consider subscribing if you want more tech news, and I'll see you guys next time.